Blackheart, the son of Mephisto. Where is the family resemblance? Is Hasbro going to do something about it? Should you handle this figure with care? Will you get hurt handling it? Is the new Hasbro Marvel Legends Strange Tale Build-A-Figure Blackheart worth building? In this review, I will closely examine the Blackheart Build-A-Figure so you can decide if it's worth spending your hard-earned dollars for the whole wave or purchasing the figure in the aftermarket. The best thing about this Build-A-Figure is the head sculpt. It's not exactly the same as his first appearance look, wherein his eyes are not even red. Later during the 90s, they start coloring his eyes red but still of a shade of dark cyan color, but this figure is all black. The nice thing here is the hair, wherein there are sculpted details and there is a wash of somewhat purple. He has 3 layers of hair. Though he is a plain black plastic action figure, this is the outstanding part for him. This is also the least hardest plastic part of his body. The rest of his body is a painful experience for me to hold on to because he has spiky bits and I have dry hands. I live in one of the coldest places in Australia, Canberra. There you can see the spikes, it's all over his body. I'm sure one of these spikes caused a cut on my finger. This reminds me of handling the McFarlane Toys Batman Devastator. Another figure which is a pain for me to move his hands or his body. Blackheart has a butterfly joint and Hasbro sculpted in some texture on those butterfly joints as well. Blackheart having random spiky bits can get caught up between the joints and it can cause a scratch or a damage on the figure, so be careful when you articulate him. Despite of Hasbro using a plain black plastic, every part of his body has some sculpted details. There is barely a smooth part, which causes me to worry. By the way, I had to heat up his upper torso because at the beginning it was very tight. Though predominantly a black plastic, the parts may vary in terms of the shade of black, but it is barely noticeable. One thing I noticed is the knees, it doesn't have any sculpted details compared to the elbows where Hasbro still sculpted those spiky bits. The small spikes continued up to his lower calf. I appreciate that, but it's just a pain sometimes. He does not have flat feet. It's a challenge to make him stand on non-flat surface, but flat surface he stands really well. Blackheart has a bendy wire tail. You cannot wrap it around another action figure. Seems the purpose of it being bendy wired is so you can position the tail to the left or to the right. As you can see, it snaps back to its place. Probably the thickness of Blackheart's tail prevents you from bending it to a position wherein it would stay. It keeps on snapping back. Let me know in the comments below, do you think that's a deal breaker for you, that you cannot pose his tail to what you want? The first set of hands Blackheart comes with is a pair of open palm expressive hands. It's hard to tell whether Hasbro did paint his fingernails, but it's less textured and shiny, so probably they did paint it with a darker black. It's really hard to tell because it just blends in with the black hands. These hands can hinge forward and back. He has 4 set of fingers per hand. The next hands he comes with is not a pair. One hand is pointing and the other hand is a closed fist. Like the other hands, these hands can hinge forward and back. Given how unique Blackheart's hands is, I hope they gave us a pair for each. Initially, I thought I broke his closed fist hands because it doesn't want to hinge forward and back. Then I noticed in close-up, there is an excess plastic that is hindering the articulation of this. I probably need a hobby knife just to cut it off so that it won't prevent the articulation. Thank you for checking out this review. I hope you found it useful. and will help you decide whether you should purchase the whole Strange Tales wave. For places where the Strange Tales wave is still available, I left some links in the description below. I hope you stick around for the second part of this review.
I'm Tigerknight!
Blackheart's first appearance is in Daredevil 270, September 1989. In the art of John Romita Jr., Blackheart resembles his father Mephisto. I do wonder if Hasbro will maximize the mold of this Blackheart Build-A-Figure and create a John Romita Jr. art Mephisto before finally releasing its well-known look. One of Blackheart's power is energy projection. Unfortunately, this figure does not come with any power effects. Here is some sinister smoke by slide effects. It is translucent green-yellow, but to be comic book accurate, you would need some blue effect pieces like this one, which is a cloudy blue power effect by slide effects. Link in the description below. Handle with care warning. The Marvel Legends Blackheart Build-A-Figure should be handled with care, especially when you try to perform this particular pose from the trading card. Unfortunately, I failed to notice that with the spiky bits all over his body, when you articulate his legs, this part started to scratch his crotch. It's very unfortunate now, it's noticeable because it scratched, it was really deep. The plastic has chipped off, so be careful when articulating this part. If you found the handle with care warning useful, hope you give this review a like, subscribe to my channel, and check out other reviews I have in the channel. When recreating this comic book panel, the bendy wire tail helps in keeping the figure stable. Even if the other two figures are on top of him, he does not fall down. To build Blackheart, you only need 6 figures from the Strange Tales wave. The first part is the torso from Bloodstorm and the right leg from Damien Hellstrom. You need to heat up the leg so that it can plug in. It was very difficult to plug it in. The next leg is from Brother Voodoo, which is the left leg. Same deal here. Just push it in. It really needs some heating up because it's really tight. And it's really painful with all those spikes as well. The next part is the right arm. This one is from Lilith. For this part, I heated up the upper torso, the butterfly joints to be specific. Just be careful because the spikes on his shoulders might hit the butterfly joint of the torso. The left arm came with Dracula, which I reviewed recently in the channel. Hope you check out that review. And finally, the head came with Moon Knight. Assembling the Blackheart Build-A-Figure is relatively easy. The challenge is your hands won't get some small cuts because of the spiky bits of his body hitting your skin. The Marvel Legends Blackheart Build-A-Figure stands 20 cm or 7.9 inch tall. According to Marvel.com, his height is variable. 1/12 size comparison, Mafex, Medicom Toy, Wolverine brown costume, and Phoenix, which I reviewed recently. Next we have from the Blue Strike Force team, Psylocke and Cyclops, Mafex, Gambit, and Storm. 6-inch scale loose collector ladies, Darna, a Filipino superhero, and Coffin Comics, La Muerta. From the Deadpool Legacy Collection, Deadpool and Hugh Jackman Wolverine, Astonishing X-Men Wolverine, which is the short-sized male figure, and regular-sized male Superior Spider-Man. Older female body molds, X-23, which is the teenage female body mold, and Psylocke, the regular-sized female body mold. Target exclusive, Spider-Man Retro Carnage, and the Walmart exclusive, Venom. Marvel Knights Blade and King Daredevil. Other figures from this wave, Dracula and Bloodstorm, Lilith and Hellstrom, Moon Knight and Brother Voodoo. For a 6-inch scale versus 7-inch scale, we have Rogue. Next, we have Sabretooth from the Wolverine 50 Years 2-pack and Marvel Select Sabretooth. Marvel Legends Juggernaut Build-A-Figure, Marvel Select Juggernaut. Hulk from the 80 years anniversary of Marvel and the Marvel Select Hulk. For articulation, his head can move from side to side with some hindrance from his long hair. He cannot look up because of that hair. He can look down a bit like that. His arms can extend that far. You can do a butterfly joint movement here. You can do a full 360 movement of the arm here. He has a bicep swivel right here. Double jointed pinless elbows. Blackheart has a wrist swivel right here. His hands can hinge forward and back. He has an upper torso swivel. He does not have waist swivel. He can crunch forward that far, crunch backwards that far. He can do a split. Be careful with the spiky bits. He has an upper thigh swivel. Double jointed pinless knees. Can kick that far back. Can kick far forward. His feet can hinge forward and back, and he has an ankle rocker. His tail has a bendy wire wherein you can position the tail from left to right, but it snaps back easily to its place. My final thoughts: overall an excellent looking figure with a lot of sculpted details. A bit painful for me because I have dry skin, so articulating the figure caused some little cuts on my fingers. The head sculpt is excellent, especially with those layered hairs. I wish the bendy wire tail is less resistant to what it is because it kept on snapping back to its original position. Though the strange tail wave shares a common theme of the supernatural or somewhat Halloween appropriate characters, few characters are obscure and it's the first time I heard about them. So it's a bit hard to justify getting the full wave just to build Blackheart. If you decide to skip this wave, will there be a chance for you to add Blackheart in your collection? Hasbro has a habit of re-releasing Build-A-Figures into a single deluxe figure, with some costume changes, just like Apocalypse and Juggernaut. Recently, the 2020 Venom Full Build-A-Figure is re-released after 5 years. If Blackheart becomes sought after and expensive in the aftermarket, maybe Hasbro would consider releasing him as a deluxe figure, maybe in a different color, something like blue. Are you willing to wait? If you like the quality and level of detail of this review, hope you check out my other reviews in the channel. I review mostly Marvel Legends. Occasionally, I would review Mafex and Marvel Select and other figures. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this review useful. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell. See you on the next one.